Hello and welcome to your weekly energy update for December 16th through the 22nd. We have just moved Mercury out of retrograde earlier today, but had a Gemini full moon. So still a lot around communication, a lot around language and throat activations that are coming through. Okay, so as we began today's reading, we began with the Six of Swords, um, along with Soul Family. We actually had this, I believe, last week as well. And then take time to breathe. And what I'm really getting from this is one, there's a lot clearing off right now as we get ready to head into solstice, right? We're at a really high time for the solar codes, for solar energy. Now is a particularly great time to make sure you're going outside, you're being in the sun, because as we get ready to reach that solstice time, right, that's when we go through our 3 days of technically, symbolically, metaphorically, whether it is literal or not, it is 3 days of no sun. So, massive death rebirth process that is underway currently. And so, know that the energy this week is moving us away, right? Moving us away from these particularly challenging times. And not only is this a great reminder to use the breath as a vehicle, a means for, and oh my God, so much in the throat right now. So definitely a lot in the throat chakra, but it is not only are we using the breath, right? Breath work, intentional breathing to help facilitate this clearing process. But also, you see that, I feel like this person in there is just kind of like embracing every breath. So, as in being very present, lots of just taking in the scenery. Out here, in Mother Nature, next to the water, facing the emotions, obviously protected with the wings, the shadow behind them, nothing but sunlight and water, and beautiful views in front of them, very connected to nature, very present. And so, again, breathing life back in, preparing to breathe life back in. And very much still a call here. And again, the theme, now we have the whales again. So a lot of just remembrance of uh what's the word? I don't know. I can't think of what I'm trying to say. Um, whales carry a lot of information on this planet as far as the history goes. And so when we talk about soul family, again, we are still talking about the lineage, both here on Earth, the bloodlines, as well as the galactic, really coming back into union of these two. For some people here, you're very much here to clear some of these galactic codes off of Earth, and to rewrite some of those timelines as well. And this really feels like activation of the throat, activation of the remembrance. Again, we're getting ready to move into a time period where even within this next coming week, where there's going to be a lot more third eye crown activations, and we need this throat chakra to be more open to this Kundalini energy rising, and also for, our higher source codes to come down into the body. So we want this to be just this clear vehicle. And so we want to make sure that we are calling upon the people, the resources, the ancestors, but especially the people who are we're really being called back to really reconnect with the people who we're here to sort of collaborate with, to heal with and through, and to recognize that the way forward, right? For so long, we've been in this idea of like, well, I do it alone, but I don't have to do it alone. I could be supported. And now it's like we're kind of a changing in time here where it's going to be more of an understanding that actually we're not doing this alone. And to reach some of these higher levels, we're having to come back into circle, back into group, back into collaboration. And to not only lead, but to be led. And so it is moving in and out of both of those with harmony. So really calling back some of our soul tribe into and trust yourself to really guide yourself back into that community. Okay, so now we have the Seven of Wands, and this feels like a very much grounding in your conviction, recognizing that you're really taking a stand. And this feels very, again, related to the throat chakra. Taking a stand with strength, with conviction in who you are, and recognizing this is a really important sort of like flip, an inversion that wants to be corrected, and recognizing that you are responsible for your own perceptions, your own beliefs, all of these things. And this is not something new that I'm sure that you're not new to hearing this. However, oftentimes when we put more weight on what somebody else says, this is who you are, this is what you're doing, this is why you're doing it, and we take that as our truth, it then dissolves our own truth. So it is coming back into our own strength, our own conviction, our own knowing that we are our own authority. We utilize other people, and this is particularly important as we're coming back into soul tribe, right? Um, we utilize each other to help us formulate our own ideas and our own opinions, but not from a standpoint of anybody else having more power, more authority over you than you do, and really standing in your boundaries. Boundary seems very important with conviction. And this is a very internal process, right? It says don't hate, meditate. And we've gotten this a lot recently. And this is really guiding. Remember that you're going to be guided. And this seems important because the next card we have is the Pleiades. And so this feels like, a lot of times the Pleiades are very heavily invested in this transformation, in this great awakening energy. And so you're going to be guided in meditation. It feels like channeling perhaps a lot of this sort of Pleiadian healing throat energy. They're often very chatty, the Pleiades. So again, think this has a lot to still do with the throat chakra in really grounding in more of your conviction, more of your knowing, more of your trust in um, formulating and remembering that you have the final say, that you are the authority, and to take some of the emphasis on what other people are saying, lessen it, right? We want to really begin to work collaboratively on a common mission, on a common goal to utilize each other to help heal and lift each other up, but not as though someone else is higher rank or better or further along or knows better than you. That we want to clear out, and we want to make sure that we are very much staying in our sovereignty. And then we have the Six of Pentacles coming in. You'll see the man is feeding the hungry man, and he's got balance over here. And this is with peace and harmony from Archangel Raguel. And then we have the Great Gathering, which we have gotten there's been a lot of themes, a lot of cards that I'm noticing that keep popping up. So clearly a continuation of theme. And so what really feels like is being cleared here is any idea that there's not enough resources. It's telling you there's more than enough resources. You're more than resourced. It will be divinely replenished. If there has been anything that has been holding you back from fully giving, from feeling like there's not enough for me, so how can I give to you? From really spreading your abundance. So when I talk about not just wealth, this is not just money, although it very much can be, but it is also your voice. It is also your light. It is also your wisdom. It is also your compassion for others. It is being an example. and believing or seeing the best in others, right? Recognizing what people need and being willing to give it, not from a place of, I don't have enough, so I can't give to you, but begin to realize just how resourced you are, how far you've come, how abundant your mindset has become. And we will always see there's so much to go. The focus is to be present, to really take a breath, to really sit in your own energy and recognize how much you have to give and that all is being harmonized for you. Abundance of light. You're supported completely by the angels, by beings of the highest order that are serving this divine plan, and they are working to replenish and replenish and replenish for those who are really stepping out and saying, let me give. And this great gathering, right? Again, this is sort of that great awakening, remembering that we are coming back into these soul tribe groups and that allow yourself to be led into these groups. Know that we are coming back together on purpose to begin to really collaborate, to raise again, because our mission for many of us are intertwined. And so the mission ahead is not meant to be done alone. It is meant to be done very much in these sort of like collaborative group circles that have various different, it's like a sacred circle, right? Everyone has their own little pieces to the puzzle, but when they bring these pieces together, then the mission rises and they all rise together. So recognize you're being resourced. There are people that are here to help you to be resourced, to rise. You have energies on the other side that are here that will replenish you. And you have an abundance of resources, of light, of voice, of wisdom, of strength to share. And so this is going to be part of what is really going to start to help to move you out of this energy and to begin to recognize perhaps some truth, right? Where there felt like maybe there was some beliefs, some energies that were having us sort of chasing our tail, believing things about ourselves that weren't true, believing things about basically accepting other people, accepting the not truth, okay? Accepting things that weren't true. And it was because we were listening to other voices. We were listening to other people above our own. And then we come in to the star card, and this is like a beautiful card that has so much to do with like optimism and rebirth and like infinite potential kind of energy. And we have take a step back. And it feels like this is the energy that we are bringing in, that we are very much moving into. And then we have the sisterhood of the rose. And so again, when we talk about the sisterhood of the rose, this is really that priestess, mystic, teacher energy that's devoted themselves to walking this path. And so this is an invitation to, in accordance with that sort of devotion to the earth, devotion to beauty, devotion to wisdom. And so it brings in that geometry of the rose, it brings in the geometry of devotion, it brings in the peace of sisterhood to the planet, being a good custodian to the planet. So a call to really be in nature, take a step back, is also feeling like we're coming upon a time here where, those 3 days where it's very internal reflection, right? The 22nd, 23rd, 24th, very important for internal reflection. Take a step back, be present, be with yourself, go out and be in nature, really allow some of these energies to kind of shift and move. Now's not a great time to be in your head. It's a time to really be in the heart space and to bring in the energy of beauty and gratitude and recognition and presence to yourself, to others, to the planet. And as you're, doing this, the greatest way you can do it is by nourishing yourself first. You're very resourced, right? You're very resourced. And so the other thing that feels like it's coming through on that end is not only um, anything that was feeling like I don't have enough to give to others. I want to flip that. And I also want to say, if you are someone who is giving to others and felt like there's not enough for me, there's now enough for you. You get to merge service to self with service to others. And no more do you need to sacrifice. No more. It is balanced. You no longer need to sacrifice yourself for others. You get to be resourced. You get to be abundant. You get to have all the light, all the wisdom. You're not sacrificing your light for anybody. You're not sacrificing your money. You're not sacrificing your health. There's no more sacrifice. The energy of sacrifice is being cleared completely. We are clearing this energy off. It was untrue. This was not true. This was other people's voices saying this is how you're supposed to be, who you're supposed to be, and that was not true. And so that sort of Jezebel energy is being cleared. All those untruths are being cleared. You're moving away from these challenging times because there is more. There's a new beginning that we are getting ready to enter into. Okay, that is, and actually, while we're at it, why not? Why not? Let's just really quickly, let's see what our dragons have to say in honor of the Uficus energy that just came in. So much pouring forth from that particular constellation. And let's see what wants to come in. Independence, carving your own path. And let me see what this particular card says. Carving your independence. What number? 19. Okay. It's time to do it your way. No matter what that looks like, claim your right to carve your own path. This requires action and foresight. Be original and renewed as you press forth and onward into paths uncharted. Throw the map, the template, the world's opinion out the window. It's your choice. There's freedom in knowing what your sacred consciousness grants you in the inherent ability to do what you want, when you want, unbounded by only the restrictions you self-impose upon yourself. Break the chains, cast off the shackles, and break free, relishing in your independence because freedom is yours. Okay, that is this week's energy reading and update. I look forward to hearing all about it. Drop in, tell me how this lands for you. Touch base with me at iamwendygerhart.com. Light Mind is opening up for 2025, and this is going to be my mastermind where we are going to be working through all things ascension, all things really trying to regulate our energy to this new energy of 13, and of course, all the things that come up along the way as we learn to formulate and collaborate and work together to raise the mission, raise the bar, raise our energy, and step into what's next. If that is something that you're like, I'm really looking for a consistent way to be able to chime in, to really connect to a soul tribe and to create this sort of sisterhood where you can be completely open and free, all parts of you fully welcome, and to see how far you can expand in that kind of an environment, then definitely send me a message and let's chat as applications for that are now open. All right, love you so much, and I will see you on next week's energy update.